Alright, everybody, welcome back to Majr Movies and TV, and today we're talking about the Peacock original documentary TV series I Love You, You Hate Me. Now, I recently, got a Peacock subscription just because I wanted to watch Halloween Ends and didn't want to have to go to the theater to do it. So I got the Peacock subscription for like a month, and I figured, if I have it, might as well make the best of it and watch as much as possible on it for a month, So I turn on the documentary I Love You, You Hate Me, mainly because I was kind of curious about it. I am 22 years old. I was born in 2000. So I grew up with Barney from like 2001, 2002 up until 2005-ish, which is kind of when it fell off. So that's that. And it explains in the documentary why it fell off, and it actually makes sense now. And that's one thing, is like, looking back nostalgic wise, now as an adult, you kind of understand why things happened the way they did, And again, it more so fell off because I grew up. I was 5 years old. I was watching Ben 10 and other action shows, Teen Titans and stuff. I wasn't really interested in Barney anymore. But I also have a younger sister. So I still had to watch it every once in a while. Or, I didn't have anything better to do. So it was on TV, and I did watch episodes after it fell off for me. And I noticed it just wasn't as good. As an adult, you kind of just notice these things, and it explains in the documentary why. So, and I'm not. This is gonna be a much shorter review than normal, because this thing doesn't have a real story. It just talks about stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk about the points that I thought that were interesting. So it starts out, and it's talking about the origins of Barney and how it all started with Cheryl Leach creating Barney for her son Patrick Leach, because she saw some weird old show and she wanted to give her son something to watch. So she grassroots built up, the ability to go to a studio. They wrote and designed the character, and it looked like bootleg Barney, but the original Barney, they created it, and it was a hit because they sold tapes of it. So, they didn't have a big budget. They didn't have any marketing. So what they did is they literally, called moms in the area. They're like, hey, we have this tape, and would you want to buy it and check it out for your kid? And so the moms were all buying it, and they were, noticing how their kids were loving the tapes that they were making. So they kept buying it, and then eventually it kind of kept blowing up, and then they were doing live concerts, and after the first live concert they ever did, it just exploded. And then it just went from there. So that was actually pretty interesting to me, the idea that they were literally able to create a worldwide phenomenon just by making a couple tapes. And I miss that. See, to me, that's the American dream, is you can just kind of, as long as you have the support of your community, you can kind of do whatever it is that you think is best for it and be successful at it, and then make it to the rest of the world, And I just like that. I like that idea. I like the journey. The journey was interesting to me. And it kind of gives you hope that, when you're doing things on your own, trying to figure things out, that you can do it and start your own business in your own life and take control of it. So that was cool. I did like that. And then it kind of details more on like what happens after Barney blew up and the different actors and everything. So what I didn't realize was that Barney was around for like 10 years before I was even born. I think I did end up watching reruns of the old Barney episodes when I was like 1 or 2. I wouldn't remember one, but maybe like 2-3 years old. I remember watching reruns of the old Barney show, like the older version of it up until the 2000s, and then that version of it, I think. Obviously I don't remember exactly, but Barney never annoyed me. It wasn't my favorite show, but I watched it on PBS Kids. PBS Kids was my shit. So, I watched pretty much PBS Kids all day. And then up until I got older and then started watching Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and Disney. But it was mainly PBS Kids at first, and I liked it. And, and watching this, it did give me nostalgia for it. Like the songs and stuff like that. I was like, I did rock with those songs. They talk about how the original, or one of the body actors, David Joyner for Barney, how he kind of made the character blow up with how physical his performance was on stage. And that was cool. And they talk about his like tantra sex stuff and how it's like a headline. And I'm like, is that really a necessary headline? Like, is that really something you need to, put out there? Because they put it out in 2018, like, and he stopped being Barney in 2001. It's like, really? Really? The man can't live his life afterwards? He didn't do anything to the kids, so, like, what the fuck was the issue? They talked about how there was that rumor that Barney hid drugs in his tail, which was false. There was, a lot of stuff like that they were kind of just like, no, that never happened, and I don't understand where that came from. And the main, focus of the documentary is the effects of Barney on the world and how it started to make everyone hate Barney, like grown adults. And, like, honestly, this dude, Rob Curran, okay, he saw his daughter watching freaking Barney. She watched it a lot. She was kind of addicted to it. Alright, I get that. Turn off the damn TV and let her do something else. It's fine. But instead of doing that, he creates a secret society just for hating Barney. I'm like, what type of little dick shit is that? Like, goddamn, you really gotta hate on a kid show that hard? You make a secret society for it and you spread hate about it? It's like, really? Like, the fuck is wrong with people? Like, so many, like the Barney bashing of, like, the late... I get it. Like, I was growing up in the early 2000s, so I saw the reruns of the 90s shows and stuff. I knew how violent the late 90s and early 2000s wanted to be. I was watching Celebrity Deathmatch and shit like that. So I get it. But why the hell was it so edgy and, like, stupid to where people were hating a kid's show? Grown adults really took time out of their days to hate this show to the point where they literally set up, like, a Barney bashing, like, event. Like, a whole day of just beating up Barney merch. I'm like, really? Really? You have this time? You have this energy to put into this? Really? You have, like, just don't watch the show. You're a grown adult. What type of little dick shit is this? Like, what is this? I don't understand why people were like this back then. Like, really? You're gonna hate on a kid's show that much? And honestly, I'm not surprised, because the documentary kind of pointed out this stuff that, that, like, it kind of relates to now. And honestly, it does, because people get so tight over certain things. Like, I just did She-Hulk reviews, and people are... I'm watching She-Hulk reviews, and people are like, oh, this is trash. This is... Nah, nah, nah. I hate this. Blah, 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 blah. Like, it's like, yo, get a life. Fucking chill. It's a show. Like, goddamn. And it's even worse for Barney because it's a damn kid's show. It's like, really? Like, and it just kind of proves how stupid middle schoolers are, for one, because goddamn, middle schoolers are the worst of the worst. Because, like, the voice actor for Barney, his email got leaked. His name is, like, Bob West. And little middle schoolers were sending him death threats from school because his email got leaked on the internet. It's like, really? Like, you can't just, like, the school's not seeing this. These kids were, like, literally like, I'm gonna dismember you, I'm gonna find you and kill you. And I'm like, really? Really? It got that bad? People couldn't chill? Because, like, the adults were affecting the kids, obviously. Like, you look at the adults were putting out this narrative of, oh, I hate this show, I hate Barney, it's so annoying. And I get it, you don't have to like it, you don't have to find it interesting, but it's a damn kid's show, it's not for you. So, like, and then they're influencing these, younger kids, like middle school age kids, to act like them, act like idiots. And I'm like, yo, these kids, and it's even worse because they don't understand, like, real life yet. So they're literally sending death threats to the voice actor for Barney for no reason. Like, really? Like, that's terrifying, man. Like, imagine you just get emails every day, people saying they want to kill you. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sure the creator got it, and then, like, the kids, like, that were on the show, after they left the show, they go back to school, and they get bullied and everything like that, just for being on the show. It's like, yo, they were making money. They were doing what they wanted to do while you were in school. You boring ass motherfuckers. Like, goddamn. Like, like, I would have loved to be on Barney as a kid and then go back to school and be like, yeah, I was on a worldwide TV show. What were you doing with your damn life? Like, you were in here, locked up in school for 6 hours a day, being an idiot. Like, God, like, and you're not even good at school. You would think, like, oh, you were in school, you were locked up in school this whole time, you must be great at it. No, you're just as dumb. It's like, really? Like, really? Like, and Cheryl Leach's son got it, like, the worst because he was the son of the person who created it. I'm like, yo, and no wonder why he went crazy. He shot someone. Like, he was on drugs so hardcore that he was so paranoid because the world hated him. His dad killed himself, and then bam, like, goddamn, And yes, I'm going over spoilers in this, but in all reality, like, it's a documentary. It's not like you're in suspense about the story here. This is real life events. I'm pretty sure you can research all this yourself. So I'm going over spoilers, but, like, it's real life events, So yeah, they just go over some of this shit, like this dude made, like, this online Dungeons and Dragons type thing based on Barney, and he did that every day. And I'm like, really? Like, and it's just, like, weird how so many people devoted their lives to hating a children's show character. Like, what type of fucking dumbassery is this? Like, goddamn, I don't want to be that type of adult. I'm not that type of adult. I am an adult now. I am not that type of adult. Fucking edgy ass, late 90s, shirtless juggalo type people. Like, goddamn, and that's no hate towards juggalos. You do you, but still, it's just the point. You gotta be that fucking edgy for no reason against a kid's show that brings kids happiness. It's like, all right, let the kids be happy. You know, it ain't your problem. If you don't want them watching the show, don't have them watch the show. It's not their fault that you can't parent and you put them in front of a TV. Like, take them from the TV and have them do some other shit. Like, goddamn. You don't want your kids to watch it all the time? Don't have them watch it all. I never got addicted to Barney. You know, and I'm pretty sure that this Rob Curran guy's daughter got addicted to Barney because he was a shit parent. He even said himself that he was like a recovering alcoholic for most of his life. And, you know, good on him that he's gotten better. And I don't wish that the worst on anyone. But still, like, goddamn, you're going to tell other parents how to parent. And you're going to act like Barney is like some horrible thing when you ain't got your shit together. Like, goddamn. I'm swearing a lot more in this video. It's just because it pisses me off how some people act. But yeah, no, like, they just, they kind of go over the rise of Barney. They go over how people really hated Barney for some reason. They bashed the shit out of it. And I feel so bad for the creators because they didn't deserve that. They were so nice. They seemed nice. None of the kids had any issues on set. It's like, perfect, thank you. Like, they actually made something for kids that was good for kids, and then y'all hate on it. But then, like, other shows, like, frickin', I don't even know. I'm sure there are some other shows out there that treated the kids like shit. But they're fine, you know. They're fine. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. And the David Joyner thing was stupid. You know, it was just kind of like this thing where he had to explain himself for wanting to do things as a grown adult after leaving the show 20 years ago. Like, goddamn. Like, get off the man's dick. Bob West and Bob Singleton, they were like scared of talking about Barney. I felt so bad because, like, they didn't do anything wrong, but people created so much violence towards it. It's like, god damn, bro, really? Other than that, and then they go over how it kind of messed up Cheryl Leach's life. She got divorced from her husband. Her son went a little crazy, ended up in prison, got out of prison, and now, you know, they're just kind of living their lives, which is nice, you know. They talked about how the chicken dude beat up Barney at the baseball games, and honestly, yeah, I kind of see where where they were coming from with wanting the chicken dude to stop, because you're literally beating up a kid's favorite character in front of them. Like, really? You're gonna do that? Like, that's just stupid. And the fact that in the documentary the chicken was like so freaking the chicken was just so happy about the fact that he could beat up Barney in his act. It's like, really? You're that much of a fucking cuck? Like, really? You're that much of a damn loser that you have to beat up Barney in order to do anything with your damn life? Like, what the fuck? Like, you can't just leave the character alone. You can't make up your own character. You can't do something different. You have to tear down someone else's creation just to make your life better and then be smug about it. Like, when you win the lawsuit, it's like, really? Really? And honestly, they just wanted to protect their property that, you know, was meant to spread happiness to children. It's like, wow. People just annoy the shit out of me, honestly. It's grown-ass adults, too. It's really bad. But yeah. So, overall, I'd say the documentary was pretty good. As a 2000s kid, it gave me a lot of nostalgia. And not gonna lie, there were times where I was like, man, I miss I miss those days, you know. There were no smartphones, barely even computers. Just kind of chilled at home and watched TV. It was nice, you know. You know, it just gave me a... And again, I grew up in that time, so I can't even say that I dislike like that edgy stuff, because I grew up listening to heavy metal, Korn, all that, Limp Bizkit and stuff like that, and then I watched shows like Celebrity Deathmatch and played Mortal Kombat at 4 years old. Like that was part of my childhood growing up. But the thing is, that never made me want to hate kid stuff. You know, maybe as like a late elementary, middle schooler, I was like kind of into the idea that like, oh, maybe kids' characters can be shown in a darker light, you know, or darker, you know, image or whatever, and I was kind of edgy about that and blah, 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 but I grew out of that really fast, and I was never into it to the point where I literally went to a fucking Barney bashing party. Like, goddamn, that just sounds so stupid. People are acting like Barney ruined their lives as grown adults. I doubt even had children. They don't even have kids. They're just out there hating Barney. It's like, wow. Wow. But yeah. So, I'm gonna end this here. I just needed to rant a little bit after watching this. This documentary is pretty good if you're interested in that sort of stuff. It brought me a lot of nostalgia, and it was cool seeing the, one thing. So the reason why Barney kind of fell off and they introduced like that cousin riff and stuff like that was because Cheryl Leach actually sold the show to a bigger company in 2005, and that's why after 2005 it wasn't the same show. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened there. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there. And yeah, go check out the documentary if you want some nostalgia. If you're a 2000s kid, I would suggest checking it out. And yeah, or a 90s kid actually, 90s to 2000s kid, you'll get some nostalgia out of it. But yeah, so that'll be it. If you have your own thoughts on the documentary, let me know in the comments below. And everyone have a nice day.